Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, the first show of August. So I hope you're enjoying your summer so far. If this is the first time that you've tuned into the program, while I call myself a technology evangelist, someone who likes to preach about the benefits of technology, I'm much more of a tech translator, as it's important to me to demystify this new and crazy digital world that we're living in. So we're all on the same page, right? We have a great show planned for you today. In a moment from now, we'll talk with Instagram sensation Valeria Lipovetsky about her success. We'll also talk this hour with Toyota about new vehicles that have built-in Amazon Alexa support. So that lets you even control your home devices, your smart home tech, even while you're behind the wheel, which is pretty cool. Safely, of course. We'll also learn about the Sonos Beam soundbar, which just debuted, and what makes that special. Alexa does have something to do with that as well. And we're going to end off the show with a chat about a new watch for seniors called LocateMotion. All of this and more coming up on today's Tech It Out. With over 250,000 followers on Instagram alone, not to mention YouTube and other platforms, Valeria Lipovetsky is a rising star on the social media scene. Her videos fold in fashion, parenting, cooking, fitness, and beauty. Joining us on the line to talk about her success and what others can learn from it, we've got Valeria herself. Welcome to the show, Valeria.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Sure thing. Now, before we talk social media, you're a holistic nutritionist and a model and a mom of almost 3 boys. Congratulations, by the way. I know you're due soon with your third. And now you've exploded onto the Instagram scene with your channel. So how do you find the time to do this all?
I think that kind of the industry that I'm in is basically my life, so it kind of works. I don't have to separate it too much. My content is what's going on a daily basis, so that helps.
All right, so whether you're feeding your boys, or you're going out on the town with your husband, or you're on a photo shoot for your modeling job, you kind of have the camera everywhere, and so it's almost like a bit of a reality show, if you will. Basically,
like a one-man show where I'm recording and living it at the same time.
So you don't have much help when you're documenting these events, these things you're doing? Is it just you and a phone?
Well, now actually we grew a little bit. I have a full-time videographer, but that's more for kind of branded content, but kind of a day-to-day, it's just me and my camera.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll talk about branded content in a couple of minutes from now, because I want to ask you about how to monetize that success. I see most of your photos are casual. It's you taking them or someone else. And again, you do fold in both your work and your play into one channel. And is that part of your success, do you think? I mean, is it that people like that it's really you and really your life? It's not like a make-believe persona?
You know what? At first, when I started, I thought that it kind of works against me because, now that if you go on social media, you see so many beautifully curated Photoshopped photos, of living it up and just doing all these extravagant things. And, I really thought that I don't really have much to contribute in that department. So I decided to just starting documenting of what my kind of perspective on life and what's going on with me in just my own casual way. And I actually think that that's the reason why I've seen success with my social media. I think people today are a little bit tired and feel a little disconnect from those, super beautiful curated feeds. And sometimes you just want something that will really make you feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. If it's feeling, that you can relate to it, or it's a joke about, an everyday situation that you face as a mom or a young woman in society or things like that. So today I actually feel like it's my strength, like that's my brand.
I love that. So you're trying to help people find beauty in everything about themselves and everything they do, even if it's an unflattering situation. Like I know you've posted pictures of you having a cold, like, you've been under the weather, or you've got a mud mask on your face, or you're, in the kitchen with your boys hanging off your legs. So just by keeping it real, keeping it authentic is one of the appealing things about your channel, you believe.
Yes, definitely. I think that's what differentiates me compared to the rest, of the beautiful, talented girls out there. There's so many.
Oh, but I want our listeners to know that there are many beautiful shots of you as well. I know you're downplaying that, Valeria, but you are a model, and you,
Thank you.
And I hope you don't mind me acknowledging that you are, attractive, and I think that's part of the appeal as well. But probably you have more female followers than men. Like, I think maybe some people who are listening right now that aren't that familiar with Instagram might think it's all kind of creepy old guys that are just on your channel, but you are very much empowered by all the women who follow you and comment on your posts.
Yes, definitely. My community are definitely women. I would say 98% of my audience are women, and it's all, between the ages of 18 up to 45. So that's kind of the community that I wanted to build. And not only people that will follow me, but people that I can connect to and people that I can learn from, because I interact with my audience like all the time. So I learn a lot of what to do in motherhood and beauty and all these like different secrets from them as well. So I wanted to build something that I also can, enjoy and feel empowered in.
Awesome. I gave a speech this morning about 10 things businesses should do on social media. And one of them is interact with your community, whether they're customers already or potential customers. But I always say that social media shouldn't be a one-way street. You shouldn't just push out content and that's it. You should, as much as you can, interface with the people who are following you. So you do that. You read your comments and you write back and you are interactive with your audience, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think that it's a very crucial part of what social media is. I think that's the difference between, the old school media of newspapers and ads and stuff like that. That's the difference between that and social media. Social media, you want to build that personal relationship with your followers, with your customers. You want to make them feel like it's a two-way street, that you're here to listen and they matter. So I think that really builds such great loyalty and following, if it's to you or to your brand. So I definitely think that engagement and interacting with your audience is extremely important.
We're chatting with Valeria Lipovetsky. She is a rising star on the social media scene, specifically Instagram and YouTube, with hundreds of thousands of followers. And she folds in cooking, parenting advice and tips, and even her daily ups and downs as a parent. Fashion is a key part of it, and beauty and makeup and things like that as well. So you kind of mix it all together with obviously your personal tastes as well. Why Instagram, if I may ask you? I mean, there are other platforms like Facebook, which is extremely popular still, Twitter, LinkedIn for more of a business audience. Why do you like Instagram?
I think that Instagram, for me, the most loved platforms to use is YouTube and Instagram, because I feel like Instagram is a great kind of platform to have more of a short form content that I can push out. A lot of people are on it. The right demographic for me is on it. So I think that's also important when you look at, different platforms that you want to invest in and push content to. If you're a brand or a persona, you want to see what kind of audience do you want? So for me, my audience are younger women. Most of them are either on YouTube or on Instagram, not so much on Facebook. Not so much on LinkedIn and Twitter. Twitter is a great platform, and just to be honest, I really didn't get into it too much. So I really decided to focus on where is my demographic, where is my audience, and just put all my kind of eggs in those baskets.
Got it. Before we wrap up, Valeria, you mentioned earlier about branded content. It's no surprise that today there are opportunities to be a brand ambassador or an influencer, whatever the phrase is of the day, where a company will come to you and ask you, because of your huge audience and your natural approach and appealing approach to brands, you can make some money by talking about products and services. Tell us a bit about it and who some of your partners may be.
Yeah, so the way it works is it's a very kind of authentic relationships, which I love. And of course, there are people out there that just, promote for whatever they can. But if you do want to build your brand for the long run, you really want to make sure that you are taking up partners that are aligned with your brand and that bring value to your audience. Want to create content that resonates with people. Brands really also want to partner up with creators that will represent their brand and that, have the audience that will benefit the brand as well. So there are a lot of great opportunities out there. What's great about this industry, when you are a content creator, you don't have to chase them. All you have to think about is to create the right content, put your authentic self out there, create a little community, and then the right brands and the right partners will come to you and will want to partner up with you.
Great advice. Valeria, thank you so much for your time. Continued success. And your handle on Instagram is simply your name, Valeria Lipovetsky?
Yes, at Valeria Lipovetsky.
Thanks again for your time. Congratulations, and looking forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Before we continue on with the show, a quick shout out to my sponsor. Tech It Out is brought to you by ASUS, creating technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. ASUS, for those in search of incredible. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. In a few moments from now, we're going to catch up with Sonos to learn about the new Sonos Beam soundbar. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Not all soundbars are created equal. Recently announced and now available, the Sonos Beam is a smart, compact soundbar for your TV shows, your music, video games, and more. But to tell us how it stands out against other soundbars, we're joined on the line by Michael Papish. He's the Director of Product Marketing at Sonos. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hi, Mark. It's great to be with you.
I had a chance to listen to the Sonos Beam at a recent event, and I was very impressed with the sound quality and the features. But before we tell our listeners what the Beam is all about, please let's step back and talk to us about Sonos and its product lineup.
Sonos is we're an audio and speaker company based in Boston and Santa Barbara. And really, we're the original makers of smart speakers. About 15 years ago, we really saw a future where we thought all of the internet's great sonic content was going to be available via streaming. And we wanted to build a speaker system that could work all throughout your house with all the different things that you use all day long, all your favorite music services, all your favorite audiobooks and podcasts, and make it easy to listen to. And so that's what we built. And we have a whole system of different speakers to fit to really any place in your home.
So they can be small little bookshelf speakers, they can be larger ones, but it's room-filling sound. And now soundbars for consuming video content with great audio as well. And you called it a smart speaker because it was leveraging both streaming services from the internet as well as maybe downloaded content or ripped content that you've had stored locally. And you would use an app to control it all, whether you want to play the same song throughout the entire home, or you can have different music playing in different rooms. So you call that like a smart speaker compared to the ones that predated it.
Yeah, when we think of a smart speaker, we think that speakers really should talk directly to the internet and not be reliant just on your phone the way like a Bluetooth speaker works. So they're smart because they can do stuff. You can start the music, and if you leave the house and someone else is still there, they can keep listening. If you get a phone call on your phone, it won't ring over your speaker because your speaker is directly connected to the internet. So to us, that's what it really means by being a smart speaker.
Got it. All right. So it uses Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth, which not only delivers better sound, but can wirelessly pair with all these other devices or connect or talk to these other speakers in the home. With that in mind, now let's talk about the Sonos Beam. What is this product and what makes it special?
Yeah, so Sonos Beam is a smart, compact soundbar for your TV. So it makes great sound for all of the stuff that you're watching on television. And, we think that this is really important nowadays. As televisions become thinner, their speakers don't sound very good. And when we talk to customers, many of them complain they just can't hear what people are saying on their televisions. And then in addition, modern TV nowadays, the sound design is so incredible, right? If you're watching, Game of Thrones or Stranger Things, these shows have such amazing sound design. And so Beam is able to reproduce those 3 channels of sound, left, right, and center, in a really immersive way. But in addition to being just a speaker, it's also smart in that it has microphones built in, and it will work with Alexa. So you can talk to it and ask questions. You can ask for music to play. If you buy some other Sonos speakers for other rooms of your house, you can even ask for music to play in those rooms from your Beam speaker. And then you're able to control your television. So if you have a TV, you can ask the TV to go on or off. If you pair it up with Alexa products, you can control what's streaming on your television. So we really think it's a really well-designed speaker to fit in most people's modern living rooms for great sound and great smarts.
Okay, so now you've added the Alexa integration. I know you mentioned you can control things on your TV or ask to play your Sonos music, but can this serve as a dedicated Alexa device whereby you can ask for things like to order an Uber or to pay a bill, or can treat it like an Amazon Echo device too, right?
That's right. So it really provides all the different functionalities of Alexa. So just like you mentioned, you can ask questions. You can ask for things like your flash briefing. So for like news or sports updates in the morning, it will play out over this speaker or all throughout your house to the other speakers you have connected. Mm-hmm. So that's right. It really functions as both a Sonos speaker and an Alexa speaker.
We're learning about the new Sonos Beam. We're chatting with Michael Papish. He's Director of Product Marketing at Sonos. Let's talk about the speakers itself. So you mentioned it's 3 channels, a center channel where about 80% of the dialogue from a TV show or movie would come from, as well as a left and right channel. But is there a built-in subwoofer? Does it simulate a 5.1 system? Tell us a bit about what's under the hood.
So the acoustics are pretty interesting. It's a pretty compact product, and so therefore we had to get pretty smart in how we put the different speaker elements into it. Beam has 4 what we call full-range woofers. So these are custom designed. This is something that Sonos has been doing for a while. We actually custom designed the woofers and the software that runs them. And they're full range, so they can go all the way down deep to reproduce those bass frequencies, but also play the mid-range. And so with 4 of those, that's how we get the really wide sound separation. 2 of these woofers are on the ends of the product, and we actually bounce the sound off the walls of your room and then bring it back into the center. And we use this tuning technology called TruePlay to make sure it sounds really great when you're sitting there on the couch. So the speaker has a really wide sound stage. The woofers allow it to go pretty deep, and then we have a central tweeter right there in the middle of the product, and that's for that center channel really to optimize dialogue. So the speaker has, the full frequency range. Now, if you do want more bass, you can always pair a Sonos sub with the product. And if you wanted something like 5.1, where some of the sounds are coming from behind you in the room, you can add 2 other Sonos speakers, and those will function as rear surround sound speakers to give you a full 5.0 or 5.1 experience.
And that's all done wirelessly, right?
That's right. Everything runs via wireless technology, really on top of Wi-Fi. And so once you set it up, everything is pretty automatic. It's very easy to do. You just need to use the Sonos app to configure everything.
There's a lot more to get to about Sonos Beam, so stay with us. When we return, we'll continue our chat about this new soundbar from Sonos. Stay with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
We're chatting with Michael Papish from Sonos about the new soundbar called the Sonos Beam. I was really impressed with the small size of this soundbar, yet delivering very loud, clear, and well-balanced audio. I mean, it was pretty remarkable that what your engineers were able to squeeze into this small box.
Yeah, and really, this is something that we've always done at Sonos. We're actually kind of a baby in the audio industry, right? We've been around 15 years. So that's actually, pretty young for the audio industry. And every time we build something new, we learn more, and we kind of bring that out to the next product. And so the thing we've really been focusing a lot on around acoustics is what we call speaker arrays. So the ability to use multiple of these different transducers plus software to create really great sound experiences. And so one of the challenges with Beam is that we want to make the speaker not just great for your television, but we also want you to be able to play music and have it sound very natural. And that's tough because a lot of times home theater sound, you want it to be really wide and really bassy. But when you listen to music, you want something like the human voice to sound very natural. And so we use software in conjunction with the custom designed hardware to make sure the speaker sounds great in both of those different modes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so hence the name Sonos Beam. It will send out the audio signals to bounce off walls to give you the optimal performance for the room that you're in, whether it's a tiny little family room or a larger space, maybe if you have a basement and you've got a larger listening area. But what if you mount the Sonos Beam to the wall? I know that's trendy, under a TV that's mounted. Does that impact the sound at all?
We've actually created a sort of a custom mount that positions the speaker the right distance from the wall so that the sound will be great regardless of whether it's on a table or mounted to the wall. So that's something we've thought about and made sure that it would sound great in both configurations.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember that now. It kind of it gives a bit of space between the soundbar and the wall, the way the bracket holds it, correct?
That's right, yeah. For good sound response, you don't necessarily want the speaker right flush to the wall, just because without any room for air to move between that, you might miss some of the sound waves. And so we've created a mount that does position it pretty well. And then again, you can use the TruePlay tuning technology to really account for whatever room layout or size or design that you have so that it will sound good in your space.
Before we wrap up, Michael, walk us through the setup process. I remember with previous soundbars from Sonos, and I think there's two of them, a play bar and a play bass, which is a flatter one for TVs that you're not mounting to the wall, that it used a digital optical audio output jack, which not all TVs have. So I was happy to see now that you've implemented an HDMI connection, which is more of a universal standard for video and audio uncompressed. So please talk us through that process.
Yeah, so I think there's something very interesting. If you look at the back of a Sonos Beam, it's going to look really different than probably what you'd think about when you think about home theater. For Sonos, we've been studying and working in this industry for a long time, and we really think that a lot of home theater is just way too complicated. When you think of home theater, you think of all those red and white little speaker plugs, and there's so many different cables and connectors, and it just gets super complicated. Sonos is very different. There is literally only one connector on the back of Sonos Beam for plugging into your television. It uses HDMI, which, as you've noted, is becoming a more common standard for moving audio and video around the living room. And we're able to, with that one cable, basically give you a very straightforward and simple setup process. You really begin just by downloading the Sonos app, and then it walks you through the process whereby you'll plug in the HDMI, we'll test to make sure that we can hear the sound, you'll assign a name of the room to the speaker, you'll set up your Sonos account, and then really you're good to go. Because we're using HDMI, the speaker automatically will work with your existing remote control. So we don't give you any more remote controls. We figure you have plenty of those already, and no one needs another remote control.
Indeed. And
really, the setup is meant to be easy enough for anyone to do. You really don't even need a professional expert or installer. It's something you can do in your own home, really just by following our app.
Okay, awesome. So how much is the Sonos Beam, and where can we learn more about it?
Yeah, so Sonos Beam is really available in all stores, selling at a price of $399. And if you would like to learn more, please visit our website, sonos.com, where we have a lot of information and background about the product.
All right, that's sonos.com. Michael Papish from Sonos. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark. It was really great chatting today.
Hey, I hope you're all enjoying this week's Tech It Out show. We're now going to shift gears and talk with Toyota, pardon the pun, about new Alexa integration inside of vehicles. We just heard about it built into a Sonos soundbar, and now it's coming to a car near you. You love your Amazon Echo in your home and you rely on your smart digital assistant all the time, right? Well, what if you could have Alexa in your vehicle? Imagine having access to her while commuting to and from the office or while on a road trip. Well, earlier this year, Toyota said vehicles with the Entune 3.0 multimedia systems and Lexus models with the Enform 2.0 system would both get Alexa capabilities in 2018. And that time has now come. Joining us on the line is Steve Basra. He has dual dual roles at the company. He's both Vice President of Connected Technologies of Toyota Motor North America and Executive Vice President of Toyota Connected. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you for having me. Welcome.
Sure thing. So let's talk about the significance of adding Alexa to both Toyota and Lexus vehicles.
Okay, so here at Toyota and Lexus, we're really excited to be among one of the first automakers in the industry to bring the convenience of Amazon Alexa into the vehicle. What Amazon Alexa allows Toyota and Lexus customers to do is really take advantage of more than 30,000 natural language skills that they already have in the market, as well as controlling over 4,000 smart home devices. So, we've offered voice recognition in our vehicles for many years, but the great thing about Alexa is that there are no real systems to learn, no menus to memorize. You basically just talk in natural language conversation, and you just ask her to do what you want, and she'll go ahead and do it. So we're really pleased to offer this kind of new technology to our customers. But I think what we're more excited about is the fact that the impact Alexa can have on our customers' lives, from a daily basis. And just to summarize, we're gonna introduce this technology to all compatible Toyota and Lexus products coming up. To start with, it's available on Android phones, but very soon, at the end of this year, it will also be available on Apple iOS phones. So Apple users will also be able to get the functionality.
Okay, so just to clarify, Steve, you need an Android phone at this point if you've got one of the compatible Toyota or Lexus vehicles. I think the Lexus one is coming in September, if I'm not mistaken. But you need one of the phones as well as the vehicle, and then going forward, it'll support iPhone as well.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. We'll be back shortly with Toyota talking Alexa. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We're chatting with Steve Bassara from Toyota. Alexa is now available in some vehicles, which is pretty cool. So can you give us a couple of examples of things Alexa can do in the car? Could you ask it to play a song? Can you ask it to play a podcast? Can you ask it to add to your shopping cart?
That's a very good question, and that's exactly what Alexa can do. So when you're inside the vehicle, you can say, "Hey Alexa, play me my whichever audiobook you're listening to, or play my favorite music, or play my favorite music list." Whatever your lists are in Amazon Music, or even Spotify. If you have your Amazon account connected to Spotify, you can play your favorite kind of music through that way as well. You can also ask it about weather. You can ask it to add things to your shopping list. So when you're driving home and you suddenly remember that you need milk or you need bread, you can go ahead and say, add that to my shopping list, so that if you're like me, lazy, that you don't go to the shops anymore, and then Amazon delivers all your shopping at home. That just gets added to your list, and they go ahead and deliver that to you. So it's really convenient. The other thing which we're kind of really excited about is the fact that it also integrates with our navigation system in our vehicle. So when you're driving and you want to find the best sushi restaurant, or you want to just grab a cup of coffee, you can say, "Alexa, find me the nearest Starbucks," and it will integrate with the navigation unit and send that information to the car. So it's really good. It's really integrated, and I think it's going to be an amazing experience.
I know that other automakers have used Alexa in their vehicles, but they're usually limited on what you can do with her, and I'm using air quotes for her. Things like locking the car, starting the engine, maybe playing a song. But your support through the new Toyota and Lexus vehicles also lets you control your smart home devices somewhere else. You mentioned when we first started chatting. That's correct, right?
That's very correct. So the benefit of the way that we've implemented our system is that not only will Alexa support you while you're in your car, we're actually implementing Alexa to support while you're at home. So we support both parts of Alexa. So basically, wherever you are, we will support that functionality. So for example, when you're in your car and you want to control some of your smart home devices, like your lights or your air conditioning, you can do that. So if you're driving home and you want to turn the air conditioning on, so by the time you get there, it's all nice and cool, you can just ask Alexa, please turn on my air conditioning. Or if you want to turn on your home lights, so when you get there, when it's all lit up, you can also do something like that. So that's some of the kind of car to home type of integration and some of the smart home devices. The other great thing that we do is when you're sitting at home, we also now allow you to kind of control your vehicle through Alexa. So if you have an Amazon-enabled Alexa device, like an Echo device, you can ask it to say, lock your car, unlock your car, or if it's particularly cold outside or it's really warm outside, you can get it to turn on your car so it turns on the air conditioning or the heating. So by the time you get there, the car's comfortable. And you can even ask it to say, how much fuel do I have in my car, which is really cool. So, if you don't know if you're going to go on a long trip and you may need to plan to get to the fueling stations, give yourself a bit more time, but you're just not sure, you can say, hey, Alexa, how much fuel do I have in my car? And it will tell you.
That's cool. So I knew that you can do that with some car makers that have EV or electric vehicles. You can ask or at least use an app to see how much battery life you've got left in your vehicle. But you're saying that even if it takes traditional gasoline, you're able to see where you're at, like a quarter of a tank or half a tank, that kind of thing.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. We're chatting with Steve Basara. He is the VP of Connected Technologies at Toyota in North America, as well as EVP of Toyota Connected. So some of these new vehicles, the 2019 Toyota Corolla, the hatchback, as well as the Avalon sedan, and then next month, the 2019 Lexus ES will all have this technology built in. You just need one of those compatible smartphones, but you do not need an Alexa device at home, just to clarify. That home to vehicle option is merely that. It's just an option if you've got it, right?
That's very correct. That's exactly correct. Exactly what you said. So you only need an Amazon account and then you can start using these services.
Somebody listening may think, well, how safe is this? If I'm driving a 4,000-pound vehicle, how do I access Alexa? And am I going to be distracted? I think most of our listeners know that this is voice-enabled technology. But do you press a button on the steering wheel? Do you just say her name to wake her up? How do you activate her?
So it's really simple to activate Alexa. Once you've downloaded the application onto your phone and registered, when you get into your car, you just have to push the talk button on the steering wheel and say launch Alexa. And when you've done that, then now Alexa is active, and then straight away you can just start asking Alexa questions. The other option is you can go into your smartphone and start the Alexa app, and then it works in exactly the same way. So we've really tried to make this super easy so you don't get distracted while you're driving.
All right, Steve, so just to clarify, these are available now on the two of those vehicles I mentioned. The Lexus is in September, and then in 2019, you said it's going to roll out to many other vehicles in your fleet.
That's correct, yeah. So today it's the Avalon and the Corolla. The Lexus ES is coming up in September. And then all new vehicle models moving forward will start to get this new technology.
Okay, and is there a place we can learn more about Alexa inside of your vehicles?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to toyota.com/Entune, you will get information. You can also go to amazon.com/Alexa-auto, and you can get some information on there too.
Okay, and then Entune is spelled Entune, and that's toyota.com/Entune. Steve Basara, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
Have a great day. Hey, this show, Tech It Out, is brought to you by ASUS, creating technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. ASUS, for those in search of incredible. Visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. Thank you to ASUS for your support. We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
The LocateMotion Caregiver Watch is a GPS tracker for the elderly, kids, and caregivers with several features to help keep an eye on your loved ones. Joining us on the line to walk us through its features and how it works, we've got Naman Jafar. He's the CEO and founder of LocateMotion. Welcome to the show, Naman.
Thank you, Mark, for this opportunity.
So let's start right from the top. What is LocateMotion?
So LocateMotion is literally the find company of the future. And we have a huge focus on the elder market with health as our primary target as well.
So I'm sorry, the Find company, could you explain that?
Yes. So today, as you know, what we are trying to do here is we are literally helping families stay together. The problem that we are trying to solve here, Mark, is what do you do when your loved one disappears? It's actually happened to me a couple of times when my younger one wandered off at a superstore, and the next day he did the same thing at the picnic. Got me thinking, what do I need to do to stay connected with him 24/7? So that is the idea behind LocateMotion. It is going to be the Find company of future.
Okay. And there's also applications here for those who may suffer from dementia, such as Alzheimer's. So when you're wearing this smartwatch, whether you lost your son temporarily or someone goes walking that has dementia you want to track, you can do so with the watch.
Absolutely. And Mark, you're absolutely right. It's a huge growing concern. Today, as we speak, there's about 52 million seniors above the age of 65 living in North America. By different standards, about 10% of them have some sort of early or late Alzheimer and dementia. So it's a significant growing market. Every 67 seconds in U.S. And every 5 minutes in Canada, there is a new patient of Alzheimer and dementia who comes into the fold. 1 in 3 seniors have this. This wearable solution that we have come up with can be worn by somebody who actually has this, so that we can give quality of life to the caregiver, and we are able to track, monitor, and care for the loved ones.
All right, so let's walk through the things the watch can do. So it looks like a regular smartwatch, not unlike Apple Watch or an Android watch, maybe a little bit bigger, but it has a number of features to it, including cellular connectivity. So you can make phone calls on this watch without needing a smartphone.
Absolutely. So there's a number of GPS solutions out in the market, and what we have done is we have tried to differentiate ourselves by using the latest Internet of Things technology, the IoT technology, like making phone calls, locating them on 24/7, ability to actually track them historically route-wise. Like, I can track them for the last couple of days, for the last 24 hours, the last 2 hours where they have been. And you can remotely take a picture. So assume that you have your loved ones is wandered off, and you know the approximate location, and you know what is the surrounding around them. And you're able to remotely take pictures of them because there is a camera on the phone as well. And then there are a number of other features that we have put in, like the health tracker, so number of steps. And in future, we are trying to actually improve those features to have other FDA-approved sensors like cardiac, breath pulse. All those other things will be added to this watch. So literally, this becomes a wearable that an elder or somebody with cognitive challenges is wearing, and the caregiver is able to actually track, locate, and care for them on a 24/7 basis.
We're chatting with Nauman Jafar, CEO and founder of LocateMotion. That's LocateMotion.com, by the way. So why don't we now talk pricing? How much does the LocateMotion Caregiver Watch cost?
We have 2 simple price points, Mark, that we have come up with. We sell this watch as a month-to-month deal, which is an option 1 for $99. So regular price is $149. We are selling this at $99. There is also a $19 per month charge. Again, the other option, which a few people like, is a $249 one-time option for the whole year.
So LocateMotion.com. Thank you so much for your time, Nauman.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Hey, thanks for listening to this week's Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the program. One last shout out to my sponsor, ASUS. Check out their awesome line of laptops, desktops, monitors, smartphones, smartwatches, and tablets, all at asus.com/US/radio. That's ASUS.com/US/radio. I hope you enjoyed today's program. We spoke with Valeria Lipovetsky, the Instagram superstar. We talked with Toyota about Alexa integration. We chatted with Sonos about the new Sonos soundbar called the Beam, and finally LocateMotion with a smartwatch for seniors. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. We'll catch up with you next time on Tech It Out.